Hi, lovely to see you all. Okay, so nice to see you all here. It's the first week of Advent. It's funny because, like, you're not having a child anymore. It's not the same thing, is it? Advent and things like that. But it's still fun. Good morning, Mel. Good to see you. Good to know you're here. This speaker's a bit ugly. I'll just hold it. So yeah, who else is here? I think Eve might be here. And there's a few others. So yeah, if you want to say hello. Oh, Fiona's here. Fantastic. That's great. And I think Joe is here, maybe. So at least we're pretty sure we're having Mel, Fiona, Joe, and Eve. It's a good start. And we'll see what else happens. So yeah, I hope you're all okay. Yeah, I've had some instruction from one person about how they're feeling. That's good. It's not really good for me to know. So I think I just get started, actually, unless there's something that you want to say. Oh, great, that's Joe. Yeah, Joe's here under the name of Callum. That's fantastic. Okay. So unless someone wants to tell me how they are, or if they'd like a specific area of the body looked at today. I know I'm feeling quite tight in my hips and my lower back and shoulders, actually. I went for a run. That's the thing, is I haven't been running because I get these migraine problems and stuff. So like I haven't been running, and then suddenly I went for a run and I was like feeling great. And like ran 5 miles by accident. And I was like, and actually you're meant to kind of build up a little bit more than that because I haven't been running for a while. But my fitness was obviously still there, my muscle fitness, but my body's like, why did you do that? So don't know if anyone can relate to that, but that's definitely what's going on for me right now. I'm paying for it, and that was back on Sunday. So lovely that quite a few people are here, but I don't know who you are, so that's fine. But if you want to say now, then you may. Otherwise, we will start. So I'll do a fairly gentle practice, but we'll see how we go. We'll just do things that are kind of like feel quite safe. It's probably handy that actually I'm making, because it means we're not going to be too overexcited and get us into full-on postures and things. Okay, I'll move this back. Oh, one thing quickly. Can I just quickly ask? I'm deliberating, if that's right. Hi, Kathy. I'm deliberating, if that's the right word, because I haven't really got enough time to do it, but I really want to do it. I really want to do 21 days of yoga for January. So like 20-minute every day for 21 days to go with this 21-day purified cleanse, if anyone wants to do that. That's a microbiome cleanse, but the yoga is just completely separate as well. And the thing is I don't have much time to do it, so it will be a real push to do it through December to get it all done, but I've also kind of just really want to, so I just don't know if that excites everyone. Great. So I think it helps me. Maybe you could text me independently or something if you want to, but it just helps me to know there's people going, yeah, I'd really like to do that. It would just be 20 minutes or something each day. I think I mentioned it last time, but I'm just going, oh God, that's a bit mad. Okay, great. Joe's excited. It helps me even if 3 people are I really want this. I could do it in the spring, but I'd be interested. Depends on what time. Oh no, it's not actually live stream. So Kathy, it won't be live stream. They're just videos. But you can do them whenever you want, and it stays on my channel. Like the videos stay on the channel. So it's like you kind of like do it as a little practice following a video. And Eve wants to do it. Yay! Okay, it's really nice. Thanks, guys. It does mean that I'm going to have a horrendous December, but I'll probably really enjoy it because actually I love doing this. So, yeah, great idea. I loved it. Okay, great. So it's so silly, isn't it? Why am I so silly? I just like finished building the cabin, then I'm like, oh, I'll just do this other really big thing that's going to take up loads of time, and I'm not going to see my friends or family. But I'm just like really excited about it. Okay, great. Oh yes, any help with prep? That would be amazing because I need to talk to people about like really quickly. This all has to happen really quickly, by the way, about like what would be a lovely thing, like lovely progression through the 21 days, things like that. Like just to get I need to do it. Basically, I'm prepping today and tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. And then I'm bosh into it. So, okay, that's probably enough rambling from me, but thank you for that support because it actually just makes me feel like if I visualize people I'm doing it for, even if you didn't do it straight away or something, it will be on my channel. Yeah, thanks, Kathy. Okay, great. I'm going to get started. Otherwise, I'm going to waffle on forever. And you won't get any yoga done. Okay, so what am I wearing? So I think I'm just going to carry on wearing my dress because the heating's broken and the engineer's coming over, so I'll leave this. Still nice and warm though in here. Okay, so make yourself comfy. Grab a cushion or something. And yeah, find a comfortable place for yourself. I'll just do this so we can have more height later. Let's begin by centering, finding yourself in your calm, centered space. So we know we're here physically, our bodies are in the room, we've got up, we've maybe had a little bit of breakfast, depending. But we're now taking a moment to notice how we are. Just how we are. So, how are you? How am I? Take a moment to scan the body. So right from your feet, your toes, your ankles, right up your legs, to your knees, your hips. How's it feeling in your hips? Then up around your belly and your lower back. Feeling that lengthening through the spine. Notice how the spine runs right from your hips to your lower back and then all around your middle, so your solar plexus area, your middle back, and your chest, and the shoulder blades, right up to your neck. Notice your head, how it's resting on your neck, your face. What's happening with your face? And down your arms, from your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, to your hands and fingertips. And then begin to take note of any areas that might be feeling a little bit stuck, may or may not be harboring any emotional feelings. How are you today? How are you in yourself? It may link to an area of the body. And then you could put a hand to that area of the body, whether it's a physical, something physical that's going on for you, and it might be a hip or a knee. You might find that you really need grounding in your belly and heart. Just see wherever your hands, without thinking about it too much, wherever your hands want to go. It might be in two places. You might even find it's around the neck, just wherever it is. Rest your hands in those places. And if you haven't already, starting to deepen the breath. So that with the breath, the inhale, there's a lengthening of the spine, an exhale of a softening. And when we are breathing in and out like this, we're also giving that area that you've put your hands on, those areas, a little bit of love, a little bit of energy healing. So easy because it's actually ourselves, our own energy. So it actually works really well. It's just a lovely grounding, centering way to look after ourselves. Just take a couple of moments longer to be with that place, those places, be with yourself. Centering into being here. And start to move your hands to the heart space, the heart area, if they're not there already. And we can bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, which is the prayer mudra, at the heart center. And gently breathing in and out. Let's begin our practice by chanting the Om vibration 3 times. And then gently opening the eyes, releasing the hands down, and beginning the practice with inhaling forward, opening up the chest. Exhaling back, gently closing the chest. Inhale. Your head can go slightly back if it feels okay to do that. Exhale, rounding. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. A lovely deep breath. So you're really, the breath is guiding your movement. Your back is having a lovely wake up. So you're tilting from your pelvis, but your sit bones are actually quite still. There's an undulation from the sacral chakra area. So your sacrum, womb, bladder, that kind of area. And if you've got a sore back or anything like that, you can place one hand on your back if you wish to, and one hand on the belly, on the lower belly. Because sometimes it can be quite nice to do that to protect. Inhaling forward and then coming back to center. So with your heart resting over your hips and your head resting over your heart. Inhaling, lifting through the crown, and then exhale gently into a twist. Just as far as you want to go today. So it might be that you're feeling quite supple and you can move into the twist a bit further. It's going as far as is comfortable for you. Deep, long breaths. Inhaling through the crown and exhale, softening more into the twist. We're keeping it, it's a bit like what we just did with the seated cat, moving forwards and back. We're keeping a bit of a movement going in our twist, just really gentle. It's much more subtle. But with the breath is a continuation of the movement. I mean, breath is aiding the movement. Okay. And then movement is a continuation of the breath. And then back to center on the exhale. Inhale, lengthening. And then exhale back to the other side. Lovely deep breaths. Again, remembering that your twist is not static. You're just keeping some movement as you breathe. And then moving back to center. Lovely. So we'll lift up the shoulders and rolling them forward. You can use your hands on your knees if you wish to create kind of little circles on your knee thigh area. So it's keeping the arms in movement so that there's no kind of not having to do everything statically. We can keep the movement. Oh, lovely. Long, deep breaths. We should have a competition who counts how many times I say lovely and gentle in classes. I don't know what you'd win. More yoga videos, probably. And then the other way. Lovely. Okay, fantastic. If you're still okay to stay seated, lifting up and stretching up, taking one hand, one wrist in one hand and over to the side. taking a couple of breaths over to the side. Lifting up, and then the other side. The other wrist in the other hand. If you ever need to come out of being in seated, just give yourself a bit of a stretch out. Lift up and stretch up. One side stretched, the other one a bit looser. The other side stretched. Opposite one looser. It's going from side to side a little bit. Like you're reaching up. So it's like you're reaching for an apple or something from a tree. Stretching up. You can even do the motions a bit like an Indian dance, isn't it? With the hands. We also do this in Polynesian dances, or some Polynesian dances. Lift up and bring the hands behind and open up the chest. Inhale, open. Taking a few breaths here, stretching open the chest. Lovely, and then exhale. And then start to move forward. So you're beginning to bring the hands forward. I'm going to take my cushion away because that's the point where I don't need it anymore. I'm going forward like this. And we're stretching up the hips. So it'll be whatever leg is in front. You'll be stretching that hip a bit more, the glute area. And it might be that you come all the way down. And on an inhale, there's a lengthening. On an exhale, there's a softening. And bring yourself back up. Releasing the legs. Straighten the legs. You can lean back if you wish and point and flex the feet. Bring yourself forward and just have a little move up and down. So you're using your hands again. It's a nice stroking motion. Using your hands again to move up and down the legs. So it's like we're coming into Paschimottanasana, but we're not kind of holding on to anything. Being careful of your lower back. And then changing the cross of your legs. So I'm going to have my left leg in front because I had my right leg in front before. And I was in, not cross-legged, but, I can't remember the Sanskrit name, but the one where it's flatter down. So it's kind of slightly more open hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, softening down. So it will be the opposite hip now that's feeling the stretch, more likely. And lower back. Depending. It really depends on your body and your hips, but you might have a tighter hip, so you'll always feel that tighter hip, but it'll be more emphasized on one side. And then gently bringing yourself back up, opening up the legs. So this is the wide leg stretch. We'll start by just moving forward, creeping the hands forward. Bring ourselves back up for a moment. Inhale, back up. Exhale, forward. Strong stretch inside your legs, the inner thighs. And then gently back up. It's good to have flexed legs because you're keeping it nice and steady. It's like you're doing this, when we do Prasarita Padottanasana. If I can say that probably. The wide leg forward bend. It's like we're doing that, but we're seated. And then gently over to the side, taking hold of the foot or the shin or whatever it is. And then bring yourself over. Side stretch again. Can't quite ever have enough side stretches. And then bring yourself back up and then over to the other side. Exhaling, lengthening side of the body. Bring yourself back up and feet together into a wider Baddha Konasana. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, fold forward. Doing quite a bit of hip and back. It's really lovely to do this nice and gently. So there's a lengthening through the crown on the inhale and a softening forward on the exhale. Inhaling up. Exhaling, closing the knees. Bring yourself forward. The feet, so you're onto kneeling, and you may or may not be able to do this, but your feet are on the outside. You might be just sitting like this in diamond. So your feet are on the outside if you can, and then you could just stay here, or you can come back, or you can just come back to here, it's fine. Anything like that. So it's a stretch. So ideally you're keeping your thighs together. So this is actually, I've actually started to use this stretch quite a lot. That's probably why I'm putting it in my classes, because I used to just be like, why would I ever do that? Because it's just uncomfortable and horrible. But actually I found it's a different stretch. It really stretches a different place. It's not just stretching your quads. It's also really, it kind of relieves my hips in a different way. So I'm hoping that's happening for you too. But obviously everybody is different. So hopefully you're getting some benefit from this. So don't go as far down as me if it's not okay for you. And this is only as far down as I like to go. But if you want to, you can go down here, but make sure that your knees are safe and you're able to keep your thighs together. So if you've got any knee issues, I wouldn't even really try and go back like that. Just be super careful. And of course, if you want to, and your neck can go back if it's comfortable. And then gently bringing yourself up. Rolling forward onto the mat here, like this. And we'll start to move the hips. Oh, I probably should give you some instruction. Yeah, I know that most of you know all of these things. But it's hands under shoulders and knees under hips. So we're on all fours. It's because you guys have done this so many times with me. But goodness knows who else will watch this video. So giving yourself a figure of eights of the hips. Really feeling into whatever needs a bit of attention, whichever kind of hip needs a bit of attention. Or one good thing is if you do have any strains and pains and stuff, one thing to remember is that your abdominal muscles, your core muscles, those inner muscles like your pelvic floor, the obliques, the transverse muscles, they all help with stabilizing your body. So while you're doing this, lift up your pelvic floor, which is every time you exhale, and lift up your belly muscles so that you're giving yourself a strengthening in those core muscles and your abdominal muscles. Honestly, you'll be doing yourself a massive favor if you're doing that, because especially if you've got any damage there or just a weakness there for postural reasons or whatever it is. And then we'll start to undulate the hips
So we're kind of like scooping it. We're not quite doing cat yet. We're just scooping the hips. So it's a really, I mean, dancers, if anyone's like a Latino dancer or anything like that, you know, you really get into this whole thing. Really moving the hips in this way. We don't tend to do it in our culture so much because it kind of like we link it to like something kind of like sexy or something, but actually it's not about that. It's about like keeping yourself healthy in all areas of your body, and this is a very important area of your body. Saying that, it's all over TikTok. Hip undulations. Anyway, okay, let's move the body so that we're snaking it now. So we've been undulating, we've been rotating the hips in 8s, we've undulated the pelvis, and now we're snaking the body, so the pelvis and the hips are moving. So we're doing something kind of quite, now it might feel kind of, quite animal in some ways, or like like you're a strange kind of sea creature or something. And then we could start to bring in some rotations. So we're going around. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going around from left to the left, and I'm lifting up like upward, like downward cat, and then over to the right, and then I'm down into like upward cat. So my belly's going down to upward cat. And then start to go the other way. It's like you're moving around like a washing machine or something. So we're really moving the spine in lots of different ways. And then start to scoop down, and so we're going forwards and back. So we're like in a swooping cat, a flowing swooping cat as we go down. Exhale down. Oh, sorry, that's exhale here. And then inhale up as we go down. It's really confusing. Inhale as your head goes up. And remember, on the exhale, scooping up your abdominal muscles and your pelvic floor. Wonderful way of protecting your lower back and hip. And then start to slow down the movement. And then we'll bring ourselves, keeping the knees hip width apart, we'll bring ourselves down into puppy pose. So it's not quite Anahatasana, it's a puppy pose, so you don't have to have your chin on the mat if you don't want to. You're kind of like, you're just kind of bobbing here. You might have your forehead on the mat. You might want to put your head on a cushion or a block. And some deep breaths to breathe into this upper back. It's a lovely upper back bend. A bit less intense than Anahatasana, but it's still the back bend, kind of. And gently bring yourself up. We'll still keep the feet, the knees, hip width apart, and we're going to bring a twist in, so lifting up. I know a couple of you are not keen on this stretch, so bear with me. If you don't want to do it, to this extent, then please don't. Or if you can do a different twist, if you want to, you can move your hand through like this, and what we're trying to do is twist the spine. So we're moving our spine in different ways. So you can either have your hands down facing towards your face, or lifting the arm up. That's quite nice. Or bringing the arm behind. So this is more of it feels a bit more intense on the upper back than our seated twist. And then releasing the hand down again through the motions to near the face and lifting up. And then again, we'll lift up the left hand and thread it through. And then placing the right hand near the face, or you could lift it up. And then over, tucking into your thigh or onto your sacrum. Deep breaths. And then bring yourself back up, or placing the hands down first, of course. And then bring yourself back up, and then moving back into child. So we've still got the feet, the knees hip width apart now in child, unless you really need room for belly or anything like that. Rest here for a moment in child. And then start to open up the knees. Then bring yourself forward. So you've got your knees open, so they're about the edge of the mat now. And then your hands are coming forward. And then start to move the fingers over to one side. Stretching out your side body. And then start to move your fingers so that they're in front of you, back to center, and then over to the other side. So breathing into your side. Lovely deep breath. And bringing the hands back, that's great. And then bring yourself back up with your forearms. And then the knees hip width apart, turning the toes around, stretching out your hands, and you could forward, and you could lift up onto your fingertips. Stretch out your back. Place the hands back down. Bring yourself up, ready for downward dog. Make sure the toes are turned around, and then come into a hover, but be really careful if you've got a sore back or anything like that. So lifting up, really tucking in your abdominal muscles. Nice and strong, lifting up pelvic floor. And then coming back into a half downward dog. Bending the knees. Then lowering the knees. And then having a little look up from half downward dog. Exhaling back into child. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, acute downward dog. So come up onto tiptoes. Really high. Super, super high. Stretching up. Then lowering the knees. Having a little look up in cat. Back into child. Inhale, upward facing cat, turning the toes around. Exhale, downward facing dog. So now coming into full downward dog, and have a little walk out of your heels, taking the dog for a walk. Deep breaths, lovely and strong. lifting up onto tiptoes. Exhale, the knees down. Inhale, upward cat. Flat on the back of your feet, flat feet, and then back to child. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, lift up, downward dog. So now we're in, let's keep ourselves still in downward dog now and have a look at the feet. So the outside edges of the feet are in line with the mat. And our feet about hip width apart, so that's not actually so far. And then we could walk the feet. So really slowly, not forwards, but out to the side. So walking the feet out to the side, really slowly, so that they become to the edge of the mat. So you've got a wide downward dog. And then start to walk your hands so that they're coming back. You can bend your knees if you need to. And then just hang here for a little bit in this wide leg Uttanasana. Forward fold. And then gently place the hands on the feet. If you can. You can always be bending your knees, remember. And then gently walk up your legs. Bend your knees. Walk up the legs. And coming up to standing. Lifting the arms up. Stretching wide. Exhale. Clasping behind, opening up your chest. Exhale, fold forward. And really notice the clasp. So your clasped hands are going behind your head. Well, as much as they are. They might just be going here, and that's fine. Just depends on shoulders. Remember to lift up through the arches of your feet. So we're not collapsing in the feet. We're rocking the outside edges of the feet to the edge of the mat. Bringing the hands to the sacrum, sliding them down the legs. Bringing our hands out, so a bit like a monkey or something. And then coming forward, we've still got our feet wide. We have our hands wide as well. Let's put our hands out to the edge of the mat. And just be here in a wide plank. Now, if you are not feeling it today, then just come onto your knees. So you don't have to stay in a plank. Otherwise, you've got this wide plank. And if you're still in the wide plank, you're lifting through the abdomen, keeping yourself nice and straight so that your bum's not kind of going up in the air or sinking down. That feels quite nice. Ooh. And then lower the knees down, bring the knees to hip width apart, and then bringing yourself down onto the mat. Coming into Sphinx. Facing forward. Rocking the shoulders back so you've got nice soft shoulders. Take a few breaths here in Sphinx. And then exhale, just lie down for a moment on your hands, and you could rock your hips from side to side. And then lift up back into Sphinx. A few breaths here. And then lowering down onto the belly again, and then turning the other way on your hands and rocking the hips from side to side. Bring the hands by your elbows, not elbows, shoulders, elbows in at the side, turning the toes round, coming back into a puppy pose. Stretching yourself, keeping your hands forward like this, and then stretching yourself back, exhaling back into downward dog. So now you've got your downward dog so that your heels your feet are hip width apart. And we'll do the walking back again. So bring the hands back again, So you're coming into Uttanasana, forward fold with your feet hip width apart. Lifting up through the arches of the feet. And then bring your fingers, if you can, into the peace fingers onto your toes. Lifting up, flat back. Exhaling forward. Really feeling the stretch here in the back, down here. Deep, steady breaths. As you're here in Hasta Padangusthasana, hand to big toe posture. Then bring the hands to the hips, bend the knees, and gently bring yourself up. Fantastic, good. It's nice. Okay, so looking forward and facing forward, we'll widen the feet again just a little bit and have a little bit of time swinging and twisting. So you're just bobbing one way, then the next, swinging the arms. From side to side. Twisting out. Wow, loosely warming up your body so it's a nice loose exercise. Careful of your knees, making sure that you're not twisting of your knee. And then having a little shake out, so just like shake it on, dot that body. Shaking the legs, shaking the arms. Give myself a bit of a shake forward. Like that. Rock the hips, so a little bit of shimmying, so that shoulders are getting involved. Bring our shoulders around in circles and then forward. Also with our hands involved, arms involved, of course, as you can see. And then releasing down. Bringing the feet apart so that they're not quite in line with your wrists, but just a little bit further in. Turning your right toe out and your left toe in. Bring the arms up, coming forward into Trikonasana. So your right hand is being gently encouraged forward. You can bend your knee and then windmill down and find your place. So it might be up here by the knee like this. You have open palms, backs of the palms against your leg. Might be that you're this far down to see how it is, but it might be that this posture is not the best one for you, so you just can stay up or as much as is feeling comfortable. You can keep your knee bent as well. So if you're someone who can practice Trikonasana and it's working for you, you can bring yourself down wherever it is that's comfortable. And taking some lovely deep breaths. Your emphasis is from the heart center, so the real heart opening posture. And then bringing the energy down through the hands. So you'll be going to wherever it is. And if you notice that your feet are getting a little bit tense into the mat, just loosen your toes. And then gently bring yourself back up. You can bend your knee again to bring yourself back up. And then bring yourself down, your hands down. Hands at the heart. Slightly widen the pose if you wish. Let's come into the warrior. So Virabhadrasana 2. Keeping the pose the same, so it's heel to arch alignment. And the back foot, roll back your back foot so that you're rolling on the outside edge of your back foot, so you're not collapsing in. Keeps it nice and strong. Remember, your knee is over your ankle and you can see your big toe. So that helps you open up your thighs and your hips. Opening up, warrior 2. Lifting up your pelvic floor, softening the shoulders, softening face muscles, nice loose jaw, and you can look over your front arm. Deep, lovely breaths. And then bring the hands back to the heart. We're still in the same position. Bring yourself forward. Let's scoop the hands behind. Open up the chest. And bring yourself down into humble warrior. So your hands, as much as possible, are going, they're clasped and their arms are kind of going over towards your head. And you're inside of your thigh. So you're inside the knee. You're not resting on the knee and the thigh. You've got space for your belly and your chest and everything. And then gently bring the hands back to the sacrum. And then bring yourself back up. Lifting up your right hand, turning the palm around and going back into peaceful warrior. Nice. Oh, nice stretch. And why don't you side stretches? Then bring yourself forward. Having a little look forward. Heel toe in the back foot. And now you're moving the feet so that you're heel to heel alignment. So you're kind of more on a tightrope or a bit wider. Widen a bit if you want. Looking forward. Let's bring the hands to the hips. Well, actually, let's do either clasp your elbows, clasp your elbows, or you're doing the prayer. So that your hands are like this in prayer, but behind, so reverse prayer. So either you're clasping your elbows or do the prayer, reverse prayer. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, softening into the forward fold. Keep an eye on your big toe. That's your drishti. It's a lovely hamstring stretch, this one. Pyramid pose. And then gently bring yourself back up. Turn yourself to face the front. Bring your feet so that they're just like slightly wide, so we're coming into kind of a squat. Opening up and down into squat and gently bring yourself back up, being careful of this area. If you need to, you can place one hand on your lower back, one hand on your lower belly, kind of bladder area. Lifting up your toes if you feel that they're kind of scrunching quite a lot into the mat. Strong legs. Lifting up your mula bandha, your pelvic floor. Lovely. Oh, nice. Good. Okay. And then turning the other way. So Trikonasana legs. Heel to arch alignment. Remember rocking back on the right arch this time. So your left foot is going forward if you're doing the same as me. So you're not super wide. It's not quite as wide as the warriors. So you bring out your arms so that they're parallel with the mat. Bend the knee, feeling yourself slightly guided gently forward, and then coming into your Trikonasana with your straight leg. So you may be up here, here, down here. So nice open palms, that's the way I do it. And you have energy coming from the heart, opening up, and that helps guide open the hip. Actually, a nice way is if you can actually bring your hand down and it kind of can guide open the hip. That's nice as well. But feeling the heart open, that's a lovely guiding open. Lifting up the toes if you need to. I'm always lifting up my toes. And then bring yourself back up. Oh, with bent knees, quite good. And then coming up, bringing the hands to the hips. And I think we did heart last time. Bring your hands to the heart and then moving your foot out a little bit for warriors. So bending your left knee so that it's over your ankle. You can see your big toe. Rolling back on your right foot. Lovely soft shoulders and face, opening up. Warrior two, feeling relaxed, strong. Facing forward over your left hand. Lifting up through your Mula Bandha pelvic floor. And then gently bring the hands behind, clasping, opening up your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Folding forward in between your legs so that you actually, your left shoulder is only nearly resting on your left knee. So your chest and everything is in front of your legs. Bring the hands down to the sacrum. Bring yourself back up. Lovely. Bringing out your left hand, turning the palm around, and then coming back into Peaceful Warrior. So your right thigh, your right hand is on your right thigh. But you're still making sure you keep your knee over your ankle. So it's still a very strong posture. You're holding it well. Well done, everyone. And then gently bringing your hands down, bring yourself up, straightening the leg, and we'll heel toe, we'll move the back leg forward, and we're moving to heel alignment. So you like it's on a tightrope, or it might be a little bit wider than a tightrope. Okay, so you see you haven't got your legs very wide at all for pyramid. So bring your hands to the hips, and then we're going to find our mudra. So it might be the prayer, Anjali Mudra, reverse prayer behind, like this, or clasping your elbows. Inhale up, exhale forward. Eye gaze is at the big toe. Tucking in your belly to make room. Lovely, strong posture. Inhale, bringing yourself yourself back up, bring the hands to the hips, turning yourself around, lovely, facing forward. Bring your feet out. Actually, we're going to bring them in because we haven't had a balance, so we'll bring them in so that you've got the outside edges in line with the mat, and we'll lift up on tiptoes and exhale down, lifting up and exhale down. We'll do the balance on the inhale, but actually if you want to do the exhale, it's totally fine because we're going to be lifting up pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Probably should be let's try exhaling up. Exhale, because it's better for lifting. Inhale down. Exhale. Inhale down. One more time. Exhale. Hands on the hips. Lifting up the hip and plant down. Lifting up the hip and plant down. One more. Lifting up right and down. Lifting up the left if you're doing the same as me and down. I say one more, I mean two more. This is great. Oh, another one. This is really good for your core muscles. It's balancing as well as squatting. It's great. Okay, bringing yourself down to a squat, tilting in your pelvis to protect your lower back. Bring your hands up into the mudra. So this is goddess pose. Lifting up the pelvic floor, don't forget. Mudra. Down at heart, down belly, lower belly. And switch over. And then lift up. Give yourself a break. And then gently, in your own time, coming down into squat. An old favourite, I think we did this last week. Coming into the yogi squat. And then releasing down onto the mat. Great, lovely. That's fantastic. So, okay, we'll bring our left foot in and our right foot out. Coming down to rest near your, actually, no, we're going to be looking at your big toe, sorry, because we're going to just go straight into Janu Sirsasana. So look at your big toe, your drishti is at your Padangusta, your big toe, and then bringing the hands either to the feet or I think I've got a strap here, actually. I didn't mention a strap. So you can use a strap like this when you're having a little look at your big toe, or you can put your hand on the carpet or whatever it is, the mat, the shin or wherever. And just exhale, inhale, lengthening through the crown, and your exhale, gently softening. Lovely, deep, soft breaths. And then start to bring yourself back up and move to the other side. Have a look at your big toe. Exhale, fold forward. Lovely, deep breaths. Play with your toes like I am. Whoopsie, getting distracted by my toes. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, softening. Exhale, bringing yourself back up. And then finding your way down onto the mat. So find something comfy for your head if you want something, and have your blanket handy or whatever it is, so that you're not having to move around too much for Shavasana. Oh, it's quite nice. Something under my head. Don't often do that. Okay, so let's bring the knees into the chest. That's always a good one. Have a little rock from side to side. Bring the hands to the knees and then moving the knees in circles. So inhaling forward, exhaling away. Inhale forward, exhale away. And then the other direction, massaging your lower back. And then releasing the left leg so that it's flat on the mat, and then flex the foot. And then exhale, draw in the right leg. Deep breath. Then bringing both the legs in again, and then releasing the right leg, flexing the foot and draw in the left leg. So you're kind of avoiding your ribs a little bit. You're not going too much into your ribs. Lovely. Really nice. Releasing both legs, and then you can bring them up so they're hip width apart. Bring your arms out to the side so that they're parallel with your shoulders, maybe about an inch lower than your shoulders. And so you can either rock from here, exactly as you are, where you rock the knees over and you look over the opposite side, and then inhale back up and exhale over to the other side. You can do it like that, or you can bring in, and you can take as long as you like on either side, or you can bring your knees into the chest. Do you know what we really need to do? We need to lift our hips. It really makes a big difference. So bring your knees back, your feet and knees back to hip width apart. Lift up your hips and move them over a couple of inches over to the right hand side. And then either you can rock over to the left and head going over to the right, like that, or bring the knees into the chest and rock over. Deep, lovely, long breaths. Remembering that this is your time to slow down now. So you can really, your breath can become really quite deep, but without that kind of strong, almost ujjayi breathing. You know, you can just really relax your breathing. Allow your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that reduces stress and anxiety and lets the body relax from any fight or flight response. You can just completely just rest now. Exhale, bring yourself back back up with your knees up. Place your feet down. Lift up your hips and back to center. And lift them up again and place them over to the left. And again, you can move over exactly as you are into the twists, which is great. Or you could bring your knees into the chest and move over into the twist. So 2 options. And I forgot to say this on the last side, if you have got it, the knees up higher, legs up higher, you can, if you want to kind of self-adjust and stretch yourself a little bit more, you can place your hand on your knees, the opposite hand on the opposite knee, and give yourself a little bit of an adjustment and look over the opposite side, opposite hand. Oh, lovely, deep, long breaths. It's easy to kind of want to fall asleep, isn't it? And then on the next exhale, bringing yourself back up, lifting up your hips, planting your hips back so they're in line with the rest of your spine. Bringing the knees into the chest, have a little rock about. And then bring your hands up to your feet, happy baby. Or remember that if you can't get hands to the feet, you can always put your arms around your backs of your thighs. Or you can use the straps so they're going over your feet. That's another good one. You can also hold your ankles and rotate your feet. And the other way. And if you can bring your peace fingers to your toes and have a little rock around in a wide leg stretch. Then bringing the feet together and coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So your feet are together and you could either stay here and put a blanket on. That's nice. Stay here for a bit until you're ready to come down to Shavasana. Or you can, come down to Shavasana sooner. If you are in Supta Baddha Konasana for a bit, you can place your one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly again. That's really nice. It's a bit of my favourite little place to put hands, really. And he yawns really great. Keep yawning. Full moon last night. Oh my goodness. Had trouble going to sleep. And then woke up really early, like 6 by accident. For me, that's early. And then releasing down so that your legs are stretched out. Hands are by your side. Into Shavasana. Of course, you can stay for as long as you want in Baddha Konasana, that's fine. Keeping yourself lovely and relaxed. Feeling the full moon energy in your relaxation as well. It was pretty powerful. Making yourself cozy and warm. with socks and blanket and cushion and jumper and whatever you need, and coming lovely in, nesting. So you're creating a nest for yourself, completely relaxing on the mat, completely resting, feeling your whole body held and nurtured by this wonderful cocoon. A restful peace fills your whole body. From the center of your belly, right around your whole middle, warming you inside. Deep restfulness. Resounding around your chest and hips, spreading out from your center, your navel area, right through to your heart, down to your root. Spreading around your shoulders and down your hips, back of the shoulders, your shoulder blades. Spreading out all down your shoulders and arms and down your legs, around your neck, feeling the deep, warm relaxation from your center, your navel, penetrating out, radiating out. Like rays from the sun, warmth. Imagine being on a warm beach. That warmth is in you, inside you. The warmth is filling you in a beautiful, soft way. Just the right level of warmth. Going down your legs and arms to your hands, your feet, right from your neck, all over your face, the back of your neck. So your whole body, right from your navel, all the way around your chest and hips and down your legs and arms, hands, front of the body and the back of the body. It's bathed in a beautiful warm glow. Beautiful warm glow. You can rest completely in this. Deep, gentle rest. Deep, gentle breath. I breathe in all that is, awareness expanding to take everything in, as if my heart beats the world into being. From the unnamed vastness beneath the mind, I breathe my way to wholeness and healing. Inhalation, exhalation, each breath a yes and a letting go, a journey and a coming home. I breathe in all that is, awareness expanding to take everything in, as if my heart beats the world into being. From the unnamed vastness beneath the mind, I breathe my way to wholeness and healing. Each breath a yes and a letting go, a journey and a coming home. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to find small movements in your body. Maybe you could rock your head from side to side. Bring the knees into the chest for a rock around. Or give yourself a full body stretch, right from your fingers down to your toes. And then find yourself onto your side so that when you're ready, you can gently come up to seated. And when you're in a comfortable seated position, start to notice and lengthening on the inhale, softening of the shoulders, arms, all around the face on the exhale. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Filling the lungs as full as you can. Keeping the shoulders lovely and soft. And then bring the hands to the heart center. Let's close our practice with our Om vibration, finishing with Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring the arms up into Prana Mudra above the head. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths here. And then the hands overhead in Namaste, down through the centers of the crown, the third eye, the throat, and the heart. Namaste. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing with me, sharing this practice. So lovely. Always a pleasure. And it's great that looks like you say most of you or all of you stay to the end. That's lovely. Yeah. Thank you, Fiona. And yeah, that's great. Just wanted to say the poem was by Diana Faulds. Oh, I can't remember her name. Oh, sorry, Dana Folds. There's a poem by. Oh, that's great. Thank you. I'm so pleased you liked it. Thank you, Fiona and Joe and Mel and Kathy. See you Monday, Kathy. My Monday Totnes class is starting back up next week. Yay! It's very good. I had 7 mothers and babies on yesterday. It's kind of a bit wild.
Oh yeah, it was quite back and hips. I don't know if Mel said it was really good for back and hips. It was. It's because I'm feeling it in my back and hips. Oh, thanks, Mel. Mel likes it. I'm pleased, Ash. Not Ash, Eve, that your back feels better because I was thinking of you, and then I was kind of like, ooh, let's not do Cobra. We're in Sphinx, and I was like, this doesn't feel so good. Bye, Kathy. Yeah, so yeah, back and hips, it's good. So, okay, really nice to see you all. I'm about to have more mothers and babies coming in now, not for me, but for Helen Yeomans, who's teaching them, who's doing Tula Mamas with them, so they get to sing lots. And yeah, thank you for being here. If anyone who hasn't said hello wants to say hello, they can. I know there's people who are here, but I don't know who you are. So what I was going to say is, yeah, so I'll really get those 21 days of yoga done as quickly as possible, and I'll so that we can get them out for January. Bye, Joe. Yeah, Tula Mama, Tula Mama, Tula. So I'll get it done. I can't believe I'm doing it. Do you know how much? I don't think you guys know how much work it is. It's insane. And I still work like in the chiropractic center and somebody basically needs to do it full time if I was doing it there. I like a bit of a weird challenge. But actually I'm gonna ask a few of you, some of you have gone now, but I might ask a few people if any directions on what kind of how to do it a little bit. But okay, lots of love to you all and enjoy the kind of, I know you've just had the full moon, but that was intense. I thought it was intense. So keep enjoying, the full moon intenseness, and lots of love to you all. Have a lovely day. And thank you for your feedback. It's really nice.